is knife sharpening. I've just started it. What I've done is I've made a holder here. You can see that angle is at 22 degrees, which is a good angle for a knife blade. So that sits at 22 degrees, and I've made a bit of a jig here so that I can hold it, move it back and forth, and hold it against the wheel, and then the wheel will be grinding at 22 degrees. I can then reverse the knife up to the other end and do the same over this side, and that should I've only just started and it's looking nice already, but that should put the pretty much perfect sort of blade angle on it. I've done a bit of grinding and I realise there's a problem with my jig. It looks good, but then if you look at the blade, see how much thicker it is at that end, and then it gets thinner here. And if I carried on, obviously at this end I'd get to a sharp edge, this end I wouldn't, and that's because as the blade falls away here, you're further up the gradient of cut. And so what I need is a different type of jig. I need a jig that will go around the corner and maintain the same angle around the corner. So I think I'll have to build another more complicated jig. So after some further research on YouTube, I can understand now that sharpening knife blades to a consistent angle is a bit more complicated than I thought in terms of the geometry. And this is knife sharpening jig Mark II, and the angle of the rod there is actually the sort of angle, effectively the angle on the blade, which is about 20 to 22 degrees. And this jig allows you to turn the knife that way as you're bringing it back and forth in order to grind towards the point as well as on the flat, whilst at all times keeping the angle at 20 to 22 degrees. I still don't think it's perfect for the geometry, because I think there's a little delta angle induced there somewhere, but we'll give this a go and see what it does for the blade. The blade clamping is a little bit involved as well because of the little spigot things that I've got sticking out of the blade, which hampers things a bit. But we'll give this a run now, and we'll see what sort of blade we can grind on it. So the blade has been ground to sort of approximate profile. I'm reasonably happy with the way the jig did that. And you might just be able to see a further lighter grind right on its edge, which was done by this knife sharpener, which is diamond coated spring blade. You draw it through. I've had to draw this through like hundreds of times because it's such hard steel, it just doesn't sharpen it. But I think it's, let me put this down.